Hi guys, I just thought I would do a quick video about what would you call them? Tools, I guess. Tools to help you cope with anxiety and PTSD and stuff like that. I know a lot of people are struggling with the isolation of lockdown and stuff like that. There's a lot of worries and stuff at the moment. So I wanted to give you some ideas of things that you can use to help you cope with all your anxiety and stress, and before it all gets on top of you, maybe you can like distract your mind while you're doing other things. Yeah, I have a lot of random things here. Just the simplest one is an elastic band, especially if you self-harm. One technique that they teach you is to put an elastic band on your wrist and do that, like, so you get a kind of like a burst of pain. Instead of cutting yourself, you'll like slap yourself with that, like harder and harder as you know, as you need it. Obviously you can just fiddle with it. You can, if you've got more than one, you can knot them together and things. Even if you have like a piece of string, just anything to keep your fingers busy. You probably notice I fiddle with things a lot, or I move about a lot. It's because I can't sit still. I always have to be doing something. I can't just sit and watch TV. I have to be messing with something or doing something else at the same time. I can't sit still. It's just, I don't know, I always have to be messing with something. I shake my leg, or I'm moving, or I'm messing with something. The worst is if I've got a pen, you know, one of the ones that does that click thing on the end. I will be doing that or clicking on the end. It's irritating to other people, but I don't know, something about it helps. So you can do that with an elastic band, or you can get, I'm going to show you the simple ones that you can do at home first, like a tennis ball. You can obviously squeeze that, you can like mess with it, you can throw it about, you can smash it off a wall. You can imagine this is your thoughts or your anxiety and smash it off a wall. Yeah, that's the simplest one. So those two anybody can do at home. Now I'm going to show you some other ones. This one you could probably make yourself at home if you've got a sewing machine and you've got this kind of material. I don't know what it is. One of my friends sent me this. It's got a marble inside, and it's some kind of weird fabric that you can either squish this way, or you can just move the marble up and down inside. I like to squish it the most. But yeah, you can move that about in there. It's just like sewn on the ends. So if you had this material, you could sew it yourself, but I don't know what this material's called. But it's quite strong but squashy that way. So it's got a bit of like elasticity to it this way. But I don't know what the material's called, so I can't help you to find it. But all it is inside is a marble, so you've got enough room to move it up and down. But if you had one about half the size, you could just like move it back and forth, and that might be enough to distract you. But I don't know what the material's called. But you could always make one with something else. Maybe some other fabric would do a similar thing, but I don't know what kind of fabric that would be. Depending on if you're religious or not, you could have one like this. I think this is a prayer cross. I think you hold it to I guess it's like focus your mind on what you're praying about, but it's like a nice tactile little thing. I love olive wood, so anything olive wood and I'm like, ooh. So this, I like to feel this. I'm not Christian, but I like the feel of this. And I love olive wood. It's one of the most beautiful woods. So if you're religious, something like that might be a nice thing for you. Or you could, if you've got rosary beads, obviously you can count the rosary if you're Catholic, or you use rosary beads or prayer beads in general. This was an old rosary bead. thing. I left that on because I like the Virgin Mary. I think she's lovely. But I put a key on the end instead, so I can still mess with it and use it for if I want to use them as like prayer beads or whatever, or just to mess with. So that's an idea of something you can make if you've already got something. This is one I just made from beads and bits and bobs. It's got a little thing of keys on the end. So you can use that for prayers or just to run through your hands. Just if you put different textured beads and stuff, you can mess with that. I've got some little rose quartz beads on there as well, so they're very calming. You can mess with those. Just anything you can play with, really. Crystals in general, you can hold them, you can squeeze them. It's not going to damage them unless they're quite fragile ones. But even like selenite or halite or whatever, it's a more fragile one. Bits can break off, but when it's in a chunk like this, or if you've got a polished one, that can still take a bit of a squeezing. I mean, they're from the earth, so they've been squeezed to buggery by the earth. So, you know, a bit of a squeeze from a human shouldn't do any damage, especially if it's tumbled like this one. If you're into crystals, there are a few that can help you. Sorry, I should have moved them before. Oh, God. Would have been a good idea, wouldn't it? There are some crystals that can help. Selenite is a nice one anyway. Angelite is a nice one. Blue lace agate, this is a raw one, but tumbled. It's a nice gentle stone as well. I like this one. This is nice. Rose quartz is a beautiful one. Rose quartz is a really gentle one. I'm wearing rose quartz today, actually. Amethyst. You can find amethyst in these kinds. The more raw ones, like these. Or, again, they can all be found in a tumbled form. All those ones can help. Like, they're all gentle, calming stones. Anything like this. This is a what is it? It's like crocheted or something. I don't know. Some sort of woven ball thing. It's got like beans or rice or something inside. So these you can squeeze. You can bash them about. But then obviously they're not going to be as mad as that one. If you drop it, it's not going to bash off anything else. So you can throw those as well. You can squeeze it, you can mess with it. Yeah, and they're pretty colours as well. See, I don't want to put this down now. I've started messing. You can get obviously stress balls. Just this is a dog one that my sister-in-law bought me for my birthday. I haven't took it out yet. I did have another one. Oh, I had a unicorn shaped one. It's in the car. I like the feel of them actually. Some of them they feel really nice. Just the texture of them in general. I don't know what the hell they're made of. Doesn't say. But yeah, you can get them on all shapes, sizes. Some will be stretchier. Some will be just ones you can squish like this one. You can get bands like this that say OK on one side. Especially for kids, like autistic kids and stuff, if they're not very good at communicating the way they're feeling, this can be a really good one. When it's on red, they're okay. On green, they're okay. On red, not okay. So, you know, if they don't want to talk about it, or you don't want to talk about it, you can just turn it to whichever one you are. So people can, you have to obviously tell somebody beforehand if it's on not okay, and you don't want to talk about it, you don't really want to be bothered about it. Maybe tell them beforehand, or if you do want to be, you know, asked about it when you change it, you know, I'd specify first. So if you don't want to talk about it but you want somebody to know that you're not really feeling great, so you could turn it around. But obviously some people are going to see it and be like, oh, are you okay, you know, what's wrong? So you have to sort of specify whether you want them to or not. These are new ones I've found. They look like the things that descale your kettle, but they're in my fall favourites video. The acupressure rings that you can just run up and down your fingers and they press pressure points, or you might be able to like roll them in your hand or squash them against your pressure points or something. But these are fun to play with. They're quite stretchy. You might be able to get something similar online as like a bracelet maybe that you can mess with. But I find that one's quite distracting. Obviously there's the tangle toys. You can get tangle toys that are like this one, which are just smooth. I love tangle toys. I've had 2 panic attacks in the last 5 days after months of not having them, so I find actually playing with the tangle toys does help. Or you can get ones like this which have got textured parts on, which can distract you a little bit more. But anything that's like textured, even if you just got it in your pocket and you're messing with it, you can feel the different textures, and it's a little bit distracting. So you've got multicoloured ones, multi-textural ones. There are like kind of like the tangle toys, but they're like a ball made of the same kind of shape. But these can fold up. If I can fold this one right. Nope. That one, I can never get that one to go. But this one usually is easier. You watch now, I won't be able to do this one either. Yeah, they fold like that so they can fit in your pocket or your bag. You can just put them on your finger and mess with them like that, or you can wrap them around your wrist and then wrap it like that, so you can have it on you still and still do stuff and just have it there to mess with. I find these are really good. There's stuff like obviously a Rubik's Cube, puzzles kind of thing. I don't know what other little ones are like this. There's bound to be some other things other than just a Rubik's Cube, especially if you're not very good at the algorithms and stuff to solve one. This one was on a tiny little keychain. I don't know whether even it was attached just at the top on a key ring. So that was a tiny one. I found this one in the works the other day. It's just a teeny weeny one. It's only £1. It's the same thing out, but without being on a key ring. So they're just really tiny that you can keep in your bag, and even if you can't solve them, just messing around with them, moving them around, might just take your mind off things a little bit. So there's them, and I found these in the works for £2. They're storytelling dice, and I thought that could be a good distraction thing, because you could just chuck them down, and if you like writing, you could write a story about them, or you could just link them up in your head and just a small story, or you can even just, like, if you learn them, you can guess which ones are going to come over or whatever, anything, just whatever it is to get you out your head to mess with something. You could do the same thing with cards or whatever. That was just a few simple ones, just a little variety of things you can mess with. Some crystals that maybe help. You can maybe try CBD. I like candles and incense. I like those a lot to help me. I always love candles. I always feel better if there's like a little glow. I really love Himalayan salt lamps as well. Stuff like that, like a little lamp in the room, just like a little warm glow. Sometimes that can be really calming. But yeah, just things you can, like, things that most people have got in the home, like elastic bands, tennis balls. They're wildly available, and you may already have them and you can mess with them. You don't need any great thing to make them, you know what I mean, they're already simply done. Or if you're a bit more crafty, you can make things. If you've got bits and bobs, just whatever it is, even if you don't like it after you've done it, just undo it all and do another one. At least for the time you were making it, it's took your mind off things, and maybe the different textures were helping you at the time. You know, it doesn't have to be anything elaborate, just something you can mess with, just to take your mind off things for a little bit. Yeah, I think that's everything. I know a lot of people are struggling with lockdown and the uncertainty of things at the moment, like not knowing when the hell this is going to end and stuff like that. So some of these things can be helpful, and I really hope they can help you. Please link below, or just, you know, say below anything that helps you that I've not mentioned, because it might be really good for everyone to share their favourite things that help them. And I would love to know what helps you. What do you fiddle with in your pockets? Or what do you do when you find yourself going into a panic attack or really anxious and stuff? What do you naturally start messing with or doing to sort of get you out of that? I'd really love to know. So yeah, I think that's everything. So I hope you're okay. I hope you're coping okay with lockdown. I hope you like and share and subscribe and come and join us on Facebook, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.